Good morning, everyone. It's been a while, but we're back. So today's problem child is a BMW X5 E53, I think it is, the early one, 2003. So there's the details there. Right. So the customer's complaint is the automatic transmission goes into fail-safe mode, and he cannot get first or second gear, he says. So I asked him, can it go into drive? He says, yes, it can go into drive, but it does nothing. It does not move. So Roddy and myself went up to it, and the first thing we noticed, it had a flat battery. So I know that can be a problem. A battery that's on its way out can create havoc with these BMWs, but never mind. We managed to get started with a jump start, and here are the codes. I'll take you down to it. So in the ECM, the DDE, because it's a diesel, glow plug, control panel, cruise control, don't know what that refers to, or charge air pressure sensor. That could be something to do with the turbo, but it says it's not present, so we'll forget about that at the moment. So I think this is the biggies. So in the EGS, is that electronic gear shift? And something. So this is the one we look for, the transmission management. The first code that came up is a 95 CAN wheel speeds. I think that's key. Then we've got an 83 CAN timeout instrument cluster, and then a 36 gear monitoring 4. Now, well, let's just keep going, and we'll keep that one in mind. The ABS reports a brief power interruption in the ABS control unit. The airbag has a power supply issue. The instrument cluster, what BMW calls the IKE, India Kilo Echo, a EGA signal line disrupted. So that's a communication fault between the instrument cluster and the automatic transmission, because that's the EGS. The vehicle immobilizer voltage supply, EWS3 module control. And then we're on to the suspension, the air suspension. Seems to be problems up with that. The steering angle, CAN bus communication fault. Then it's the heating and aircon module, but I don't think that's anything to do with it. A lighting module, there's our Reiki codes in there. Our parking distance control, that's when you put it in reverse and it beep beep beeps. That's the PDC, so that could be kaput actually. The steering column, hit supporting steering column radial transmission fault, so picking that up. Central electronics, passengers, nothing there. And that is it, my friends. So this is going to be the first start in the morning, so we'll not get any warning codes to begin with, but I believe the battery will be flat, so let's try it. There we go. Right, we'll need to get a jump pack on it. So there's the jump pack mounting points. The positive is up there, and the negative is here. So we'll put this on, see how low it is. Oh, there we go. We're away with it. He believes he's got a parasitic draw. He's disconnected this Webasto heater. So there's the ABS control unit there. That's handy to get to. So that's good. There we go. So we're not getting any fault codes at the moment, but what we'll do, we'll go and measure battery voltage. The other thing you can notice, we've also got a Prindle display. So we'll just, there you go, that's working. So we can see that moving about the place. I think that noise is for the PDC's not working, so it must be a faulty sensor or something like that. We've got that at the moment, but you can see the ABS lights came on. Ooh. And you can see the P lights on. So, but what I think we'll do, we'll go and scan it for codes just when it's running. Right, so the last time I cleared all the codes, and the only ones that came back were in the DDE to do with the glow plugs. So this is a fresh scan that I've done now, so we'll go into the report. So see, so the DDE is coming up with glow plug system, but it's saying it's not present. So the ABS is complaining about the steer angle sensor identification and brief power interruption. So that must be the low battery. And there we go, power supplies again, vehicle immobilizer, everything and all things here. So I think we'd better to put a good battery on this to start with. I can't see anything else here. The charging voltage of this thing is that 13.52. I've got my glasses. 13.92. So what I think I'll do, we'll clear it with the engine running. Maybe that's a better idea. Because if we stop this thing, we're going to have the same problems. So quick erase. The ABS code is still not clear. The DSC says it's off. Let's go back into ABS then. Brief power interruption. Let's erase the code. Read codes. No faults detected. Let's see if she starts and the code disappears. That code is not disappearing. We're going to check the voltage on the thing. Positive down to negative. So we've got a good charging voltage here, 14.2. Perfect. Going to attack this unit first, I think so. So I've went and disconnected the ABS unit. The plug looks nice and clean. So we're going to drive about this and see how it goes with this disconnected. So because that can be a problem. So let's see if the thing starts. No bother at all. And let's see if we can select the different gears. Reverse, neutral, drive. There you go. So, it works. Let's take it a drive, sorry, and let's see how it performs with that ABS unit disconnected. So with the ABS disconnected, you can see it generates a code 82. EGS can timeout ASC DSC. So what was our last timeout? We'll go back into our codes. That was a timeout for the instrument cluster. See that? Quite interesting. So let's take it a drive. So I was driving along the road there and it popped up transmission failsafe program. So let's go back into here. Bearing in mind the ABS is disconnected. That'll be helping things. So we're getting gear monitoring 4. So let's see what up here. Gear monitoring, internal control unit fault, faulty data address. Condition for fault, voltage supply between 9 and 16 volts, 10 or 15. Memory fault, delete fault, observe fault. If fault is entered again, replace the control unit. ABS control function deactivated. ABS control internal, so is that there? So let's put this back on again. So read codes again, I've not cleared anything yet. So still there, so let's erase fault codes, erase. Wow, we've actually got rid of the ABS light now. So let's see. See if we can talk to the ABS. Oh, that's the lights came back up. Read codes. Brief power interruption. So let's see if we can erase that code. Erase codes. And we still can't get rid of the light. So it seems to be when that comes. Oh, there's a light going now. That's good. So the light's gone. So let's check for fault codes. So we've got a clean bill of health. As soon as we come back at it, the light comes on. So let's go back into it. Read codes. No fault codes. Let's just drive it. Before we go, let's have a wee look back in the automatic transmission. Nothing there. Right, so the light's off. So I went into the automatic transmission and the light went off. So let's take it a drive. So there it's up there, trans fail-safe program. So let's see if it's came up this time. Gear monitoring 4. I was driving back up the road, I noticed when I went into manual, I go across like that, and you could only get third. You actually could not, see how it says first? You couldn't get first or second. It just jumped right into third, so you were only getting third, fourth and fifth. So it's hard to see this. Yo, let's see. The box has got GM written on it, so this is not a ZF box. And these are highly unreliable. You can see we've got a little leak here around the gear change mechanism. But it doesn't look too bad. There's that green label there. There you go. You can see that a lot better. I'll take it out the other side. So here is the multi-plug. So let's see if we can have a wee. That fell off quite easy. That was all clean and dandy. And that's dry within there. I don't think that's a problem. Find out where the ECU is for the transmission, no, unless it's part of the main computer. I don't know. Update. So I just spoke to my old friends at Mackie's Automatic Transmission in Glasgow, and he says these boxes are notorious for breaking up first, second gear. They start to slip, and that's why it comes up with that code, gear shift monitoring. So he says, what I can do, and I can't even get this out. See just here. He says, check the fluid level with the engine running, and somebody's already been here because that's chewed up. Seems to be a 17mm, 16mm, no sure. But with engine running, check to see some oil drips out that thing. And he says you'll probably find some fragments in it, and that would prove that it's breaking up. So I'm trying to get this thing out, but oh man, it is tight. So it's looking like this needs a gearbox. If we go into transmission functions, and you just watch the turbine speed and then output speed. Turbine speed drops, and obviously we're not moving, the out speed drops, so we're going to drive. You can actually hear it, it's going into first gear. Listen to the noise. That's noisy. But if we put it in reverse, it still drops, but it's less noisy. So I think first, second is away in this. That's us in neutral. Definitely drive. It's noisy. Gearbox.